compilation of our latest videos.
I'm going to tell you exactly what the problem with the body positivity movement is.
I came across a video where someone pro-fat acceptance said body positivity was flawed, and I had to stop and listen. So let's break this down.
Body positivity was never going to work because its message at its core was flawed.
You're right, but not for the reason you think.
Even though it challenges unrealistic beauty standard and it came at a point in history where we really needed that.
Unrealistic beauty standards? You mean the idea that health looks better than sickness? Human beings are wired to find physical fitness attractive because it's a sign of strong genes and good health.
Something about it never quite sat right with me. Maybe you've also felt it somewhere in the back of your mind that something about it felt disingenuous, but you were never quite able to voice it out. So I'm going to tell you exactly what the problem with the body positivity movement is.
Of course it didn't sit right. Deep down, even the most dedicated body positivity advocates know the message collapses under its own weight. It's cognitive dissonance. You can chant all bodies are beautiful all you want, but the second you see a fit, strong person next to someone who is severely overweight, your biology tells you which one is thriving.
The first problem is that this idea that we could simply choose to be beautiful completely ignores the fact that powerful cultural beauty standards exist. And
You're blaming culture for something that's nature. The reason a lean, strong body is considered attractive in every corner of the planet across race, geography, and history isn't because of a global conspiracy. It's because those are signs of health and fertility. Our bodies evolved over hundreds of thousands of years to recognize health as attractive.
And that there are social consequences for being fat or ugly. Discrimination, judgment, loss of opportunity. With all of this, our culture creates a very powerful fear in women that they just cannot forget so easily.
So the reason body positivity failed is because women are too afraid of judgment? That's the argument? If fear of social consequences is all it takes to destroy a movement, maybe the movement was never based on anything real. And yes, there are social consequences for being obese. That's just cause and effect. Obesity increases the risk of over 200 diseases. People instinctively avoid danger.
These messages don't exist in a vacuum. It's really hard to believe that every body is beautiful when you exist in a climate that repeatedly tells you that only some bodies and some faces are considered beautiful.
There shouldn't be a belief at all. Believing that every body is beautiful is as absurd as believing every car is fast. It's a measurable reality. Some bodies are healthier, stronger, more functional, and yes, more attractive than others. It's observable.
The second problem with body positivity is that it still exists in a binary worldview that opposes beautiful with ugly or average.
No, the binary worldview you're describing comes directly from fat acceptance itself. The entire narrative is built on dividing the world into oppressed fat people and privileged thin people. You can't complain about a binary that your own ideology invented. And yes, most people are average. That's literally what average means. But average isn't the goal. Growth is.
The message that we can choose to be beautiful implies that we should all aspire to feel beautiful. It implies that there is something wrong with women that look average. There is nothing wrong with looking average. In fact, by definition, most of us do. Body positivity, by encouraging women to feel more beautiful, actually contributes to a media landscape that continuously tells women to focus on their appearance.
This is where the argument eats itself. You complain that body positivity focuses too much on beauty, but that's all it ever did. It never focused on strength, discipline, or health. If you really cared about shifting focus, you'd be promoting body responsibility, not positivity.
Before I end this video, there is another crucial point to be said here. Body positivity emerged in one of the darkest times of body image in response to the 2000s. These women did what they could in the context they were in. At the time, showing your body like this was extremely brave. It was unseen before.
Bravery isn't the same as correctness. Sure, it took guts for people to challenge size zero fashion models in the early 2000s. But bravery doesn't make a bad idea good. At some point, representation turned into glorification of unhealthy bodies.
Was unseen before, and what they did had a lasting impact on beauty standards and on the conversations we're having today about them. Was it perfect? No. Was it good at the time? Yes. And I guess today is the day where we can start finding new alternatives that decenter beauty and that get us out of this binary thinking.
Decenter beauty is code for lower standards even further.
If you like this video, hi, my name is Lucy. I'm a therapist and I specialize in helping people break away from any negative pattern they might have around food or their bodies.
And yet, here you are, defending one of the most destructive negative patterns of all, pretending that choices don't matter.
So if you like this topic, maybe consider following this account for more content like this.
Body positivity tried to rewrite the rules of reality. And reality doesn't bend that easily. And you don't get to blame culture for outcomes that come from choices. Fat acceptance and body positivity have failed not because people are mean, but because biology doesn't care about your narrative. Health will always look like health, and deep down, we all know what that looks like.
Body neutrality always. I feel so neutral towards my body. I had that conversation a few weeks ago with a friend, trying to explain to him that I don't feel either beautiful or ugly. I don't appreciate when people tell me they think I'm pretty because it makes me uncomfortable and they assume it's because I have body image issue, but really it's because the sentence doesn't make sense to me. What makes me uncomfortable is that I am supposed to say thank you to something that makes me confused and a tad irritated. I just don't think of my body that way.
I just want us to aim towards body neutrality. It's my dream.
Yes, the whole messaging around, you are beautiful as you are, is still adhering to the idea of women's value residing in beauty. Like, for one, if everyone is beautiful, nobody is beautiful.
Body positivity, fat acceptance, fat liberation, body neutrality, they're all just different labels slapped on the same delusion. Each of them tries to dress up the same core idea, that you can detach how you feel about your body from the actual condition it's in. Different names, same fantasy. A comforting lie that excuses stagnation instead of pushing people toward health. At the end of the day, the solution isn't hashtags or movements, it's action. Weight loss isn't some mysterious puzzle, it's consistency. Start by cutting out processed junk and liquid calories. Focus on whole foods with protein and fiber, and move your body every single day. Build muscle, sleep enough, track what you eat, and be honest with yourself. It's about refusing to settle.
The number one question I get asked as a plus-size personal trainer.
This might be a hot take for some people, but
one of our favorite classes that we teach is our Power Plus Wellness strength training class.
Can you take a guess the number one question I get asked as a plus-size personal trainer? Why did you become one? Like, why on earth would you become a trainer in a plus-size body, and then why would you open up a gym for plus-size women? Like, why for plus-size women? Like, why? Here's why. I had attended a boot camp style gym for 2 years, and I was fat shamed quite regularly because of my size. Even though I was doing the workouts, I might have to modify them for injury, but I was doing them. And on a Saturday morning after being there 2 years, a woman next to me looked at me and said, "Are you sure you have medical clearance to be doing this?" And it was in that moment I decided I needed to create a space for plus size women to work out, feel good, learn to love themselves, and feel like they belong. So that's why Fitness by Sarah Taylor was born.
Let's break this down. You opened a gym for plus-size women because you wanted to create a safe space for them. Admirable intention on the surface, sure. But let's dig into that for a second. Why exclusively fat women? Why is your idea of empowerment immediately tied to exclusion? What happens if one of your members does what gyms are literally designed to help people do? Lose weight. Do you hand them a polite eviction notice and say, "Congrats, you're too healthy for us now"? And if that's the case, doesn't that completely defeat the point of a gym? A place people go to change their bodies, improve their health, evolve? What even counts as plus size to you? Is there a scale by the front desk where you decide who's fat enough to deserve membership? And isn't gatekeeping people based on body size the very discrimination you preach so loudly against? Like, imagine if someone opened a gym and said, only people under 150 pounds can join. You'd be screaming from the rooftops about how exclusionary and toxic that is. But somehow it's okay when you flip it the other way around? And let's play this out. What if I want to train with my thin best friend, someone I love and support, but she's barred from entering because she's not fat enough for your club? Does she have to put on weight to qualify? Or do I have to choose between her and your so-called inclusive space? The logic crumbles the moment you actually think about it. A gym that punishes success, a welcoming space that literally turns people away. Is the goal to empower women to be healthy and confident, or to build a bubble where they never have to confront growth? Because from where I'm standing, it looks a lot like you want your members fat forever. In part 2 of our Fitness But Make It Confusing series, we're tackling another weird job title: Certified Plus-Size Pilates Instructor. Yeah, not just a Pilates instructor, not just certified plus size. So, the fat Pilates instructor made a TikTok using what fat activists call fatphobic voiceover. Let's watch the video just for fun, and I will tell you what is really bothering me.
This might be a hot take for some people, but if you're 200 pounds, you shouldn't be in a Pilates class. There's no reason why they should allow 200-pound people in a level 2 class. Or you shouldn't be allowed to be a Pilates instructor if you have a gut and you're fat.
We've got the weirdest title in the fitness world: Certified Plus-Size Pilates Instructor. I need someone to explain to me, is the certification because you're plus size, or is it for teaching plus-size people, or is it just a polite way of saying you can't teach anyone else? If the first is true, what happens if you lose weight? You lose the credentials? Like, how does this work exactly? Do they hand you the certificate after weighing you? Is there a BMI requirement to pass the exam? Congratulations, you've failed the practical but passed the donut test. Here's your certificate. And is plus size actually written on the certificate? Like, does it literally say, this person is fully qualified, as long as nobody under size 16 shows up? It sounds ridiculous because it is ridiculous. Pilates is Pilates. The whole point is controlled movement, balance, strength, not the size of the person teaching it or the person practicing the thing. Are we really out here modifying job titles to accommodate body descriptions now? What's next? Certified Slightly Tired Spin Instructor, Licensed Mid-Afternoon Yoga Coach, or is plus size just an adjective you added? And here's another question. If a thin touches a plus-size Pilates mat, does he burst into flames? Because that's what this branding implies. Not that you're an instructor, but that your entire professional identity is wrapped around your body size. Which, by the way, is ironic as hell when the whole message is supposed to be, we're more than our bodies. Except apparently not. Apparently, we're literally printing our body size on the qualifications now. I hope not. Honestly, if your entire selling point as a fitness professional is your body size, maybe the problem is that you're more focused on marketing a label than mastering your craft.
I think we lost the plot. Y'all don't like fat people to exercise now? Feels like y'all just hate them and don't care if they're healthy or not.
They're so picky. Speaking from experience, I get bullied for my weight, but as soon as I step foot into the gym, people start looking at me weird. Like, do you want me to lose weight or not?
They just don't want to see us until we've lost weight.
But then if you lose weight now you're fat phobic, you can't win.
Clearly Pilates isn't enough to shed the extra 200 pounds of weight. Y'all need a real gym with weights and treadmills.
It's like a swing without the swing part.
Yes, but instead of going forward, I'm going up.
Okay.
So you have to see the elbow bend, flip.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Towards our shoulders. I don't want my shoulders to move. So I'm not going to try and help by pulling my shoulders up towards my ear.
Okay, can I tell you one of our favorite classes that we teach is our Power Plus Wellness strength training class.
I agree. I truly love teaching this class because we work with a group of people that has
normally been afraid of the gym, and we get to teach them all sorts of different movements and help them feel comfortable.
Yeah, being a plus size trainer can be difficult, but being in a room like this with people that we relate to really makes it worthwhile.
I agree. And at the end of every class, I truly hope that everyone walks away feeling proud of the bodies that we live in.
All right, next we have fitness logic that makes no sense. And today's feature? A strength training class for severely overweight people, where the highlight is teaching them bicep curls. Yup, isolation movements. Tiny, single joint exercises. Because what a 500-pound beginner really needs is peak bicep, peak contraction technique. Forget, walking up a flight of stairs without gasping for air. Let's focus on elbow angle precision. Why are we overanalyzing a curl with someone who's carrying an extra 300 pounds of body weight? Who cares if the shoulder stays locked if the heart rate spikes just from standing up? This obsession with details makes zero sense when the foundation isn't even there. Sure, technically, some of the exercises are fine, but in this context, bicep curl is pointless. At that stage, the mission isn't hypertrophy. The mission isn't sculpting the peak of the bicep like you're prepping for the Olympia stage. It's health. It's mobility. It's basic movement competence. And instead, we're in here fine-tuning joint alignment like they're about to step on a bodybuilding stage.
Fat people are smelly, they have bad hygiene.
I just finished. I was gonna have a rest day, but I decided against that.
If you see a fat woman, or fat person for that matter, in a fitness place.
Apparently, all you need for fitness now is pre-workout, diaper cream, and self-love. What could possibly go wrong? Let's start with a TikTok that treats symptoms with sprays instead of fixing the cause.
So I'm a fat personal trainer, and exercising in a fat body can be really difficult sometimes, both physically and mentally.
That's exactly why we should talk about weight loss, not avoid it.
And I think a big fear that fat people have while exercising is their hygiene. I think that's been instilled in us since we were young, that fat people are smelly, they have bad hygiene, when it really couldn't be farther from the truth.
Well, science says otherwise. Higher body fat equals more skin folds, more trapped moisture, and altered microbiome activity. The bacteria that thrive in those conditions literally produce odor.
Couldn't be farther from the truth because we are so self-aware of how we are perceived. So I wanted to share my top 5 hygiene products as a fat person who exercises regularly that has not only helped me be more confident in the gym, in public, around other people, but also that helps take care of my skin and the body that I have.
Basically, a survival kit for inflammation. So, if your lifestyle requires 5 different products just to manage the consequences of your weight, maybe the solution isn't another cream.
First things first, Monistat chafing gel, diaper rash cream or ointment, hypochlorous acid spray, body wipe, like a shower wipe, is really useful. To round all the products off, we have a whole body deodorant.
From a biological standpoint, there's a very real reason obesity is linked to stronger or more unpleasant body odor, and it's not a stereotype. When someone carries excess body fat, they also carry more skin folds and surface area, which trap sweat, heat, and moisture, creating the perfect environment for bacteria to thrive. Obesity alters hormones and disrupts how the body regulates oil production and inflammation, both of which influence skin microbiome balance. A diet high in ultra-processed foods and sugar changes the composition of sweat. Add to that the chronic low-grade inflammation and impaired detox pathways common in obesity. The liver, kidneys, and gut microbiome are constantly under stress, meaning more metabolic waste products can be released through sweat.
I would hire you 100% first.
I have been around so many stinky-ass thinner or average-sized people, and as a plus-size person I just don't understand the nose blindness.
You had me at fat personal trainer.
Next up, we've got a few running vlogs. And I've seen a lot of people in my comments saying, that's not really running. because what's actually happening here is in fact a fast walk. Let's see.
Doing a morning run. I swear the only way I'm going to survive this is if I drink pre-workout. Give her a little mix. I'm so tired. I'm so tired. Down the hatch. This stuff makes your butt tingle.
Behold the preventative Advil.
I'm old and I know it. This is the fit. It's really cold, so I'm gonna zip this up.
For anyone who's obese or even moderately overweight, true running can hammer your joints. The impact on knees, hips, and ankles can reach 3 to 4 times your body weight every stride.
Off we go. Doing it. I just finished. I'm gonna go wheeze home now. We're done.
Everyone starts somewhere, but if you start wrong, you stop early. The sustainable path is walk, lift, eat clean, recover, repeat. The goal should not be to prove you can run while obese, but to build a body that can run without pain.
I have a super active day today, so let's go. Fit. Bam.
First, I have PT.
Here they're checking what progress I've made in my walk and my run, and then they're tailoring my exercises for what I need, which apparently is for my butt to wake up because my glutes don't fire.
A classic sign of what's called gluteal amnesia. That happens from years of sitting, weak posterior chain, and excess body weight pulling posture forward. The fix isn't more random running. It's targeted activation, hip bridges, Romanian deadlifts, glute kickbacks.
And now I gotta go run again, so off to the trail I go. Very grateful I keep Advil in the car.
So what she's really doing biomechanically is a power walk, and that's better. At her current size, that's the smartest move. And you won't need Advil if you're training intelligently. You need recovery and a structured plan. Weight loss comes from diet and consistency.
You motivate me. I see muscles.
Great effort.
You are a very hard worker, young lady. I'm proud of you, and you look so beautiful in your outfits.
How far did you go?
For the next video, I was really thinking whether it's okay to include it, but I want to make a point. This is Brittany, a morbidly obese woman who passed unexpectedly at 28. The name of the account is Sick and Tired of Weighing.
Today is day 57, and I was gonna have a rest day, but I decided against that. I decided to try to get more comfortable on the trampoline. I've been on it a few times now, and it's just scary. Thinking that this little thing can hold up all my weight. Obviously it does, it's just something that I'm trying to get used to and more comfortable with.
This is tough to watch because it shows how easy it is to believe you're working out just because you're moving. She'll bounce gently on a trampoline, trying to stay active. That effort is real, and it deserves respect, but not every movement counts as effective exercise, especially for fat loss.
So I just decided to bounce around, wiggle around, try to, lift my feet up, get used to just having one foot on the thing, because I've seen these really cool dance routines that you can do on these, and I would love to do that one day. Tomorrow is another day of aquatic therapy. I also have therapy for my mental health, and I hope that that goes effectively. I really don't have much to say today. I went on live earlier and showed some groceries and stuff. Had a lot of trolls in there, but I'm working through it.
Low-intensity movement like this might help with circulation, but for real body composition change, what matters most is energy balance. Calories in versus calories out. And diet is the biggest lever. You can burn maybe 100 calories bouncing around for 15 minutes, but you can eat that back in 2 bites of a muffin.
Thank y'all so much for the support. Honestly, y'all are getting me through this. Y'all are really helping motivate me and keep me encouraged and just feeling like I can actually do this. definitely seeing results. I can move more, I have more energy, no depression naps throughout the day. It makes me so emotional. I'm really thankful for it all, and I'm thankful for you. And
Once the diet foundation is there, then the best form of exercise isn't random cardio, it's resistance training. Or even a walk outside is better than this. Doing tiny movements while still eating in a surplus just keeps the body stuck in maintenance mode.
I'm really thankful for it all, and I'm thankful for you, and I'm so happy to be helping people. I am working on so many things right now, cards, my website, YT, things like that. So I'm just excited to see where we're all going to go, and I love the community that we're building. So thank y'all so much, and enjoy this last little bit of me just stomping around here.
I try not to use old videos, but this one somehow found me. I want to point out that this isn't about judging anyone's effort. It's about being honest. Movement feels good, but it's not enough on its own. Nutrition drives the majority of weight loss. Exercise is the accelerator once you've got control of food. So we've talked about how diet drives real progress, and why smart training matters more than random movement. But there's another part of fitness that people don't talk about enough: the social side. This next video touches on that. The description says, "I know it is well-intentioned, but it is so weird."
Here for a quick post-workout PSA. If you see a fat woman, or fat person for that matter, in a fitness place like a gym, there is no need to approach them and congratulate them, or tell them they're brave, or tell them that they're doing it wrong.
I get what she's saying here, and I think she's not wrong about most. But here's where I think the message goes too far. If someone's genuinely trying to help you with form or safety, that's not an insult. It's part of gym culture. We learn by being coached. Every good lifter, from beginners to pros, has been corrected hundreds of times.
Or make suggestions about their body, or tell them about your weight loss. None of those are necessary. And I mean that genuinely and without any sort of snark or disrespect. It's unnecessary.
Not necessary, but sometimes okay. So I actually agree with her main idea, but acting like every comment is harassment creates more isolation. Respect personal space, yes, but also keep that open environment where learning happens. We're all there to get better.
And to the two separate people who came up to me at the gym today to tell me to stop lifting such heavy weights and to proclaim that they've been watching me and I'm losing weight, don't.
Yes, no one should assume they know your limits. But again, this comes back to communication. If we all stopped talking to each other out of fear of offending, nobody would grow. The gym thrives on community. Spotters, coaches, accountability partners. So fitness culture should be supportive. Compliments are fine, advice is fine, as long as it comes from a place of respect and timing.
Just don't talk to people about their bodies or what they are doing with it unless they ask your opinion. It's always creepy.
I'm fat and would love it if I got a good word from a stranger during a workout. I can think of way worse these days.
Another reason I don't go to a gym.
So if there's one thing all these clips have in common, it's that effort alone isn't enough. It has to be directed effort. Real progress doesn't come from another hygiene hack, another bounce on a trampoline, or another round of pre-workout just to survive a jog. It comes from consistency, nutrition, and smart training. So don't get distracted by trends or noise. Focus on the fundamentals. Eat real food, lift weights, walk daily, sleep well. Diet first, strength second, consistency forever.
Don't get fat. Whatever you do in life, do not get fat. It's already enough things in life to worry about.
Well, then your working out isn't working.
Just because I'm on a weight loss journey and will be eventually a skinny legend.
You know what?
The internet has literally brainwashed you into thinking that Ozempic body is normal.
This is for all the big fat girls.
I was losing a lot of weight. And then...
It's never been about my size. The world's made it about my size.
Today, we're looking at the wildest clips of the fat acceptance and healthy at any size, going to the gym and talking fitness. Let's get into it. You ever notice how the fat acceptance movement has gone from love yourself to never improve yourself? The insufferable Marissa in action.
Well, then your working out isn't working. That's not fucking how working out works. Working out is good for your fucking health regardless of you losing weight or not. And newsflash, I'm not trying to lose fucking weight because I don't want to be smaller. I like my body.
It's okay to like your body. You should. But liking something doesn't mean you stop improving it. And working out is good for your health regardless of weight loss is true statement. But you know what else is healthy? Losing weight. Imagine you lost some weight and you go to the gym. That's a double win. So yes, exercise is healthy, but it's healthier when combined with a healthy body composition.
So yes, it is working because working out is healthy. Like, what the fuck? How stupid can you be? I'm not trying to lose weight. I'm not trying to shrink my body size. I'm working out simply because it is healthy. So I don't know what the fuck you're talking about of outworking a fucking diet. I'm not trying to lose weight. Get that in your head. Not all fat people want to lose fucking weight.
This is the biggest lie. If you could wake up tomorrow at a healthy, strong weight with no effort, would you really say no? Probably not. What people don't want is the process, the work, the discipline, the discomfort, because progress hurts a little. But that's what makes it real. Saying, I don't want to lose weight, is often just code for, I've given up trying. And that's the tragedy of modern fat acceptance.
So stop with your fat phobia, stop with your fat phobic fucking comment, leave fat people alone, and have the day you fucking deserve.
Your working out isn't working. Yes, if your workouts aren't leading to any improvements, then maybe something isn't working. Because exercise does one thing consistently. It changes your body over time. That's literally the point of progressive overload, of training adaptation. But I do question whether it's true that you work out, or at least a skeptic, how effective and frequent your workouts are.
The way people are so obsessed with other people's bodies blows my mind.
You mean how it puts a huge drain on our health system, causing all of us to pay more? Yeah, it's super hard to understand.
And just when you think the messaging couldn't get more confusing, the next clip takes it even further. We've gone from working out without wanting results to barely moving counts as a workout. The caption literally says, "You don't need a gym membership," as if that single sentence justifies everything happening in the video. So this TikTok really shows how far this effort is optional mindset has gone. The caption reads, "If you Google parks with exercise equipment, you may have one close to you." I wanted to share this to show that you don't need a gym membership. And sure, technically you don't need a gym membership. Fitness doesn't require fancy equipment. But what's misleading here is the message that barely moving on park equipment somehow counts as a full workout, or that this is what meaningful progress looks like. It's not about judging someone for starting small. Everyone begins somewhere. But when content like this is presented as proof of results, it sends the wrong signal. Because that's what the sentence implies. Proof. Health and strength don't come from just showing up. They come from consistency, intensity, and progression. You can't trick your body into transformation with a few casual swings on outdoor equipment.
What exactly does this do?
Strengthens your core.
Obliques and burns calories. What muscle group is this exercising?
Results are showing. Yes, save those $10.
Clearly it's working.
Okay, now this next one sounds like a motivational speech that somehow turned into a battle cry. Confidence doesn't need to yell.
In case nobody's told you today, you are beautiful and worthy of respect and love.
at the size that you are at now, not the size that you want to be. Trying to lose weight for my health, to be better.
Trying to lose weight for health, while insisting that size doesn't matter at all.
But it doesn't mean that I don't deserve love and respect right now. In general, whenever I get like negative fat shaming comments on this account, I pretty much just block and delete immediately, because you're not going to waste my energy. You're an energy vampire. You're not going to get mine. And be so for real, you would never have the guts to say any of these things to my face. You're saying it behind a screen because you're a little putita who needs attention. You desperately need attention.
I think that in fact you are searching for attention. Here is a question. If you're genuinely content, why the rage? Real self-acceptance usually makes people calmer, not louder.
But just because I'm on a weight loss journey and will be eventually a skinny legend doesn't mean that I'm ever going to turn my back on you and call myself a big back, say that I hated myself, this, that, and the other when I was fat. I will always be here for you big queens, because this is bullshit the way people think that they can treat us. No, I'm not less than just because I'm big. No, I'm not a fucking flawed human just because I'm big.
Halfway through, you talk as if the transformation already happened. When I'm a skinny legend, I'll never turn my back on big queens. That phrasing treats success as guaranteed, as though speaking it out loud replaces actually doing it.
And you would never have the guts to say this shit to me, so pack it up, honestly. You look sad and desperate for attention. It looks like you're jealous that a big girl has a following and has people that care about her.
Real support shouldn't depend on staying unhealthy together. All this rant to try and justify and excuse you wanting to lose weight to your following.
You need somebody to follow who is plus size and maybe is trying to better their health, who's not going to turn their back on you and try to give you some skinny BS once they do lose the weight. I'm your girl and I'm here for you. And fuck the haters. Fuck the haters.
I think they turned their back on you. Based on the engagement your video got, I think that your fat community is mad at you for trying to lose weight.
Facts. If you got haters, you're doing something right.
And just when you think the messaging couldn't get more about performative empowerment, here comes another one.
You know what? May have had an anxiety attack, might have gotten in a fight with one of my friends, and continued to cry this whole time, but I'm still at the fucking gym. Still going hard. If I can do it, you can.
I think announcing that you're still here suggests you need an audience to keep going. And that's what a lot of this online fitness talk has become. Not about health, but about collecting applause for participation. You don't need to post proof every time you step on a treadmill. Your body will show the results.
The weakest people are those afraid of change and project that onto others. Don't let anyone stop you. Sending good vibes.
Next, we have a sarcastic lecture.
Oh, and by the way, in case the internet has literally brainwashed you into thinking that Ozempic body is normal, here you go. Here you go. Okay? I don't have a flat stomach because I have organs. Guys, I actually have organs. I know. I work out 5 to 6 times a week, and this is my body. And how do I have the energy to work out 5 to 6 times a week? Because I actually eat enough calories. Because I fuel my body. How is my hair so long? Because I eat enough food. I love you so much. You do not need to look like anybody else on the internet, because I promise you, the people that you idolize on the internet, they don't even look like themselves on the internet. They don't, honestly.
So, people with flat stomachs also have organs. Having organs doesn't require a belly. That's not how anatomy works, it's how excuses work. Dismissing every fit body as fake is just another form of deflection. Not everyone who's lean is starving or secretly miserable. Some people just work hard, eat smart, and stay consistent. No magic injection required. You don't need to look like anyone else on the internet. That part I agree with. You don't. But let's also not act like being comfortable with zero progress is a victory.
I hope she knows she's the reason I eat. Someone with a flat stomach can be healthy too.
Body positive till it's a skinny girl's body. Thank you. As someone who went down the Ozempic road and had serious health issues from it, it makes me so happy to see you on my page.
Next, we have a rare sighting of J. Bay.
This is for all the big fat girls. If you're not, keep scrolling. Bitch, go ahead and get that gym fit, even if you're not gonna go to the gym. You could be cooking a dish, shaking that ass. Get that gym clothes, ho.
Apparently, Jay Bay, at some point in life, went to the gym. Or at least to film a video. All right, this next one is a perfect example of what happens when people misunderstand how fitness actually works. Old Amberlyn reads satire, but I will try to be serious and analytical.
I was losing a lot of weight. And then, I found out that my girlfriend's parents had a gym membership and they wanted to put me on it as well. And I was like, yes, I love the gym. It's fun and exciting and stuff like that. So I started going to the gym. And my girlfriend and I would go and we'd do this thing called Strive. It was a set plan / meeting inside the gym where you went in a circuit with a bunch of other people and did all these exercises, from the elliptical to arm ups to just anything, honestly, you can think of. And I think it lasted a little over an hour. So we would do these things and I started noticing something very strange. First of all, I thought, okay, I'm losing a lot of weight, so I'm gonna lose a lot of weight going to the gym. It's gonna make my weight come off even faster. Actually, no, I was wrong. The weird thing that happened to me is that I wasn't losing weight at all. To make matters worse, I was actually gaining weight.
First of all, you don't see results after a few days in the gym. That's just reality. Your body needs time to adapt. Your metabolism shifts, your muscles recover. Progress happens in months and years, not in one Strive circuit session. If it took decades to gain the weight, why would it come off in days?
Most of you might also say, oh, you were gaining muscle. No, you do not gain muscle in a few days. That is the biggest myth I have probably ever heard in my life. I have done a lot of research on it because I'm very curious. When I exercise, I do drink more water. So I'm not retaining water because I'm drinking more. I honestly, I don't understand it.
No, it's not muscle. But water retention, glycogen storage, and inflammation from new workouts can easily add a few pounds early on, especially when you start with what you have. But even if this is true, it's not fat gain. It's just your body adjusting. So, the scale is one metric, not the only one. Now, giving her the benefit of the doubt, maybe she did start eating a bit more because she felt like she earned it. That's super common. It's called caloric compensation. After workouts, people subconsciously eat more or move less later in the day.
In my mind, you don't need exercise to lose weight, but you need exercise to become healthy. It's like a heart health. Do you know what I'm saying? A heart health. I shy away from exercise because I feel like it does not help with my weight loss at all. Aside from the gym experience, I have had other experiences with working out that prolonged my weight loss. I'm not sure. I don't know what it is.
You don't need exercise to lose weight, but you need it to be healthy. That's half true. Diet does drive most of fat loss, yes, but exercise massively helps keep it off. It builds muscle, improves insulin sensitivity, boosts metabolism, and supports long-term mental health. So, bottom line, everyone hits plateaus. Everyone gets frustrated. But that's when you double down on discipline, not give up and rewrite the laws of physics.
I'm not retaining water because I'm drinking more. What?
Did she say arm ups?
Did she say, in a few days? Like, did she expect instant results?
Next, we have a recent Tess Holiday's nonsense.
Bill Maher said on his show, the people who talk about healthy at any size have, quote, blood on your hands.
I mean, who's looking to Bill Maher for advice, though? I'm not. And also, there's so many people in those positions that easily kind of say those things without actually having any knowledge about what they're talking about. So I think for me, you mean to tell me that there's blood on my hands for encouraging folks to love themselves? It's never been about my size. The world's made it about my size. I haven't. I've just tried to exist and tell others to love themselves as they show up right now. I've never told anybody to lose weight. I've never told anybody to stay fat. I've always just said, love yourself, because the world is a really hard place. And if you can't love yourself where you're at right now, then, babe, life's gonna be hard.
So your life is easy. You can walk just few steps at a time. And the world's made it about my size is interesting. Again and again, it's not your fault. Nothing is. So, this last TikTok really sums up everything we've seen across fat acceptance. She defends the healthy at any size slogan as if critics are attacking self-love itself, when the real issue is pretending that health and size are disconnected.
She's part of the cast of Dr. Now's show.
I'm a plus-size personal trainer, and
A plus-size personal trainer. Yep, you heard that right. Nothing wrong with helping people move, but it instantly raises the question, if your program works so well, why hasn't it worked for you?
I'm a plus-size personal trainer, and I had a very interesting call with a potential client today. So I just launched a new program called Empowered, which is one-on-one coaching to help you build sustainable changes in your life through habits. And we talk fitness, self-love, confidence, sleep, nutrition, all the things. But somebody to be accountable with, and somebody who's going to teach you to do it healthy and not all or nothing.
Nutrition drives weight loss way more than workouts. You can't out-train a bad diet, and your gut bacteria literally influence cravings and fat storage. That's why people who lift weights, eat high protein, and sleep enough, they're not just stronger, they've literally rebuilt their metabolism from the inside out.
So this one client talked to me about all the time she has worked with a trainer in the past and felt strong, but it was a lot of macro counting, a lot of tracking, and very extreme in terms of like doing all or nothing. And then something catastrophic happened in life and she completely let go of everything that she was doing. And this is a story I hear over and over and over and over and over again from clients, myself included, which is why I've created programs to ditch the all or nothing mentality, because
it was too extreme. Translation, it was working, but it required effort. The gym is meant to be transformation. Tracking macros isn't toxic diet culture. It's called data. You wouldn't drive cross-country without a GPS, so why would you try to lose fat blindfolded?
Or nothing mentality, because especially this time of year we hear new year, new me, and that you can fix it like this, and nobody can sustain when you do all or nothing. So that's why I do things differently.
Doing things differently. The slogan of every influencer who wants to sell comfort. Maybe instead of ditching the all or nothing mentality, we should ditch the nothing part and stick with the all in.
Yes, glad I'm not the only personal trainer who focuses on the realistic health of our clients, and not the crazy restrictions that's so often seen.
So I'm a plus-size personal trainer. Yep, you heard me right, so let that sink in. Now, on to what I have to say. I created a space for plus-size women because I was fat-shamed in the gym, and I'm getting kind of annoyed by a theme of comments that I'm getting about what I do. So, apparently, because I've created a space for plus-size women, I'm now saying that if you are not plus size, that you are sick and that I'm shaming you and that there's something wrong with you. Let's get something straight. That is not at all what I'm saying. But can you walk into a gym without being shamed because of your body size? Can you go into a store, know that they carry your size without seeing something that says plus size section? If you can't, then you have no idea what it's like to walk into these spaces and feel uncomfortable and like you don't belong. So I created a space so that we could. That's it. That's all that it is.
Fat people are not shamed in gyms. We will later see what her shaming was. Nobody cares what you look like in the gym. Everyone's too busy trying not to drop a dumbbell on their foot. The gym is literally the one place where people go to change. That's the point. And the idea that plus-size trainers don't body shame thin people? Please. When your whole brand is built around real bodies, it's always paired with a side of eye roll toward anyone who actually got lean through discipline. The gym doesn't judge, but your results do.
This is why I started documenting my weight loss journey on Instagram, because I knew women out there needed that one person who's got their back.
If someone comes in and loses a ton of weight and gets really fit, can they still come in? Or do they have to be plus size?
I got asked this question so many times on my last post about why I became a plus size personal trainer and opened a gym for plus size women, so I thought I would answer it here. Also note that due to COVID, we had to close our Toronto studio, so now we are 100% virtual, which means you can join us worldwide. But the reason I created this space for plus size women is because we are excluded out of the fitness industry and we're constantly told we're not enough unless we look like ABC. So we are a no weight talk, no diet talk, and a completely judgment-free zone for women to build their confidence and strength in and out of the gym and to move those beautiful bodies without those pressures. So if you lose weight, you continue to enjoy our community. We have women of all shapes and sizes, all fitness levels. I just focus on plus size women because we are excluded, but really it's just so that you feel comfortable in a space with people who might look like you and who have similar ideas to you. And we also focus on the journey to self-love, learning to love who you are. Part of my story is getting out of an abusive marriage and learning to love myself.
This is the same question I had in my previous video about her. Let's think about her answer. So basically, without the philosophizing, it's a plus-size gym that welcomes everyone. But you can't talk about weight or diet? That's like opening a driving school where nobody is allowed to mention cars. Fitness isn't just movement, it's also nutrition and mindset. And if someone actually loses weight, the idea that they're still welcome, well, great, but what are they supposed to talk about then? Their favorite resistance bands? The gym should be the one place where progress is celebrated, not censored. Lifting weights, tracking your food, fixing your diet, that's not toxic, that's transformation.
My trainer told me I should put down the fork. I told him I thought I had an ed and he told me I can't have an emotional relationship with food.
Let's see the shaming she is referring to that was the turning point.
I was fat shamed at the gym and you're never going to believe what I did. Okay, so here's the story. I was at the gym. I've been going to this boutique gym in Toronto for 2 years. I went like 4 or 5 days a week. People knew me. But one day on a Saturday morning, I was on the TRX doing mountain climbers, which is a very challenging exercise, doing it no problem. And this lady looks at me and says to me, "Are you sure you have medical clearance to be here?" I was like, "Excuse me?" She made the comment simply because of my size. And at that time, I was like a size 16, a 1X, and I was on the small end of plus. And you know what I did? I ended up certifying as a personal trainer. I ended up opening 2 fitness studios in the city. I had to close down due to COVID and went 100% virtual. Now I have an app for plus size women, and I work with women on not only moving their beautiful bodies.
This kind of phrasing sounds sweet, but it's also a perfect example of how the modern fitness conversation got hijacked by comfort. Movement shouldn't be celebrating where you are. The human body adapts when challenged.
Not only moving their beautiful bodies, but the journey to self-love and confidence and how to embrace who you are without the shame that you get in most gyms. Because let's be honest, if you are a plus size girly, you have probably been shamed or felt that people were talking about you or felt a ways going into a gym. And sometimes you just want to be able to move and feel good. And so that's what I do. And here's the thing, when bad things happen, we get to choose how we respond to them. So I could have just like let the lady have it. I could have quit. I could have stopped going to the gym, but no, I didn't. I decided I wasn't the only plus size woman that wanted to feel good in her skin, and so I created a safe space for us to do that.
So she was fat shamed. Was it rude? Yeah, definitely. But is one random stranger's comment evidence that fat people can't go to gyms? Of course not. Every person who's ever touched a barbell can be judged for something. Being too skinny, too weak, too slow, too inexperienced. Most people will take that awkward moment, laugh it off, and go back to their workout. They won't turn it into a lifelong brand identity.
When people say things like that to me, I'm always speechless, and come up with a great comeback. Sadly, it comes to me at 3 a.m., in my bed, sleepless.
Good for her for turning the insult into motivation. That part's awesome. But the story has been polished into a hero origin myth. Someone questions her ability, so she becomes a plus-size trainer, opens studios, and launches an app that forbids shame. If a single stranger's comment pushed you toward fitness, that's proof that challenge fuels growth, not comfort. Ironically, the very shaming she's railing against is what gave her drive. So why build an empire teaching people to avoid that same friction?
I just gotta come on here and say, like, being a fat woman in the gym is not for the weak, and I say that as like a movement coach who encourages people to show up and take up space.
The phrase, being a fat woman in the gym is not for the weak, immediately frames the gym as some kind of battlefield, a place where merely showing up becomes an act of rebellion. But the gym isn't an enemy camp. It's a public space for anyone who wants to improve themselves, physically or mentally. When we turn a normal act of self-care into a symbol of oppression, we end up glorifying victimhood instead of empowerment. Saying it's not for the weak sounds powerful on the surface, but it implies that taking responsibility for one's health is extraordinary, when it should be normal. The goal should be to make going to the gym ordinary, not a heroic act.
So here's the thing, I go to the gym and I particularly, as a fat woman, look for spaces where I'm not gonna have as much attention because it feels safer to me. I choose to let my body be as it is, and I show up at the gym, and it shouldn't have to take so much bravery to do that, but that's the world that we live in.
Just a quick word about the attention avoiding. That is understandable from a human standpoint. Nobody likes being stared at. But the contradiction jumps out immediately. You say you teach people to take up space and show up, yet you also say you look for spaces where you can avoid being seen. If taking up space is your philosophy, then attention is part of the deal. And let's think about the idea that it takes bravery to go to the gym. The gym isn't a hostile territory. Most people there are far too busy watching their own form, counting reps, or avoiding embarrassment to be policing anyone else's appearance. Yes, there are jerks everywhere, but they're not the norm. By insisting that simply existing in a gym is an act of courage, you reinforce the fear you claim to fight. You're making the gym sound intimidating, especially to those who already feel uncertain about fitness. Instead of lowering the emotional barrier, that framing raises it, discouraging others from going.
And the thing is, this isn't just like it's not the single experience that I had tonight that's pissing me off. It's the fact that, like, I know this comes with me showing up in a public space in my body, and I'm fucking sick of it pretty regularly, and I try to like prepare myself for it. I get people that come up to me because I'm in a larger body and they say like, good job, keep going, which first of all, like, fuck all the way off. I'm sorry, but if you're someone watching this video and you like to cheer fat people on in the gym, maybe some of them like it, but I bet you at least one of them doesn't like that shit.
This really highlights a disconnect between intent and interpretation. You say people who offer encouragement should back off because it feels patronizing. But most of those comments are meant in good faith. The gym is one of the few social spaces where small gestures of support are normal. When you treat positive feedback as an insult, you start policing kindness. It creates a situation where nobody can say anything, not praise, not silence, not advice, without being accused of body shaming. That mindset isolates you from community.
Rarely is there somebody that comes up to me and says, holy shit, you seem so strong, right? Like, that's not what they're saying. Now, to say all that, this is what happened tonight. I had a guy come up to me, so I'm already prepared for like a good job, keep going. But then this guy proceeds to like go on and tell me that he's a personal trainer. And not only is he a personal trainer, but he really loves to help women like me, and thinks that he has a program that could be really beneficial for someone like me, but he really wants me to keep going. Now, before people jump into my comments and say he's just trying to help and he's just trying to earn a living, 100% down for people advertising their services and for making like people aware of what they have to offer. Here's the problem where it's not okay with me. He wants to profit off my body size, right? Like,
now here's where your argument shifts from annoyance to accusation. You interpret a personal trainer offering help as exploitation, as someone trying to profit off your body size. But that's literally the business of fitness, helping people of all body types achieve their goals. If a trainer approached a thin person and offered coaching, it would be called networking. When the same thing happens to you, you call it predatory. That's a double standard. Not every offer of help is an insult, and not every business interaction is an act of greed. Although it's a weird interaction, yes. But a simple no would have been enough.
He wants to profit off my body size, right? Like there's in fitness culture in general, like there is already this thing where like fat people, fat women especially, but fat people are preyed upon because you feel like you can change their body easily and show results that's going to get you more attention to your business. Well, I'm sorry, but stop going up to fat women and asking to profit off of them in some way. I am an advocate of taking up space in the wellness and fitness world, and it makes me so irate that somebody like me in a body my size and probably much smaller and then definitely larger, like doesn't have the ability to go to the gym and be left alone.
You claim that fat people are preyed upon because trainers can show quick results. That argument misunderstands what fitness culture is. The entire industry, from rehabilitation to performance training, is about measurable progress. Trainers work with all sorts of bodies, from underweight clients to elite athletes. Calling that process predatory turns the concept of self-improvement into something sinister. It assumes that every attempt to change is exploitation. But the reason trainers highlight transformations is because progress inspires others. I think that you can't have motivation without visible change.
To go to the gym and be left alone. And it's not to say that other people don't go to the gym and get talked to all the time and that's annoying or whatever, but I think there's a very big difference in going to the gym and people saying good job once in a while, or like offering to help you with a machine once in a while, or people that specifically look at you and want to come up to you to try to sell you something or profit off of their ability to change your body. I think I need to start actually like barking or screeching at people when they talk to me in the gym. It'll be one of these. This is exactly what it will go like.
But you can't demand respect while mocking the act of basic communication. The gym isn't a social experiment. It's a public space where normal human interaction happens. So you want people to stop engaging altogether? Okay.
If you're gonna drop down into my comments and start talking about how people are just trying to help and I should be grateful for them coming up to me in the gym to tell me what a good job I'm doing, I'm gonna need you to not, because I don't have space for that right now. And I hope that if you are one of those people that specifically loves to go up to fat people in the gym and give them advice or try to sell your services to them, I hope maybe you'll take a step back. And no matter what body you're in, I just want to say that nobody can take a quick look at you and tell you what your body needs. And if they come up to you and say that, I would think twice about working with them. And if you need safe resources, I'm going to start tagging all of them in this video because there are so many. Now that's the end of my rant, so I'm going to go practice my screech because I think it needs some work.
The point of the gym, and fitness as a whole, is shared effort, I think. Everyone walks in imperfect. Everyone's working on something. The difference between progress and stagnation is mindset. Instead of turning every comment or glance into proof of oppression, maybe it's worth asking, what if people aren't against you? What if they're just there, doing their thing, just like you? And that realization, that not everything revolves around judgment, might be the most freeing thing of all.
Literally, this people come up and ask if lost the weight yet. Like I'm there to get stronger, not skinnier or smaller. I like my body as it is.
It's the weird God complex people have because they want to be the one to save you. Which is so frustrating. I just disassociate these days. You're beautiful and strong and your body is perfect.
If you walk in the gym expecting judgment, you'll find it everywhere. But if you walk in expecting progress, that's exactly what you'll see. So if you're watching this and you've ever hesitated to start, stop worrying about who's looking. No one's keeping score but you. Go to the gym. Go for a walk. Lift something heavier than yesterday. Build momentum, not excuses. Anyway, that's my take. Hit like, drop a comment, and tell me where you stand. Thank you for watching.